What's popping out there, world? And welcome to another edition of TJ Sports Nation, presented by your boy TJ, straight out of KC. Excuse me, y'all. Eating a little breakfast. Just wanted to get up before the work day start. Talk some boxing. You know what I'm saying? Talk some boxing. Let's talk about Saturday, man. Saturday was a big day in boxing. And one of the hottest young and up and coming welterweights in the game was in action against one of the hottest up and coming welterweights. His first fight at welterweight was a tough fight. After not fighting for over a year, Maurice Hooker, Virgil Ortiz went down Saturday night. Virgil Ortiz got I want to say, was it the sixth round that fight was over? It might have been the eighth. I can't remember. I'm having a brain splat. But whatever it was, Maurice Hooker didn't want no more. Maurice Hooker did not want no more. You know what I'm saying? And I thought for the most part during that fight, Maurice Hooker fought a good fight for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But maybe he should have went for somebody, not as dangerous to get him a body up under him at welterweight. I think that was the mistake he made. Virgil Ortiz is just way too hot right now. And he kind of played with fire with that one a little bit. But overall, it was a good fight. I thought the card was kind of cheesy. I can't lie. And DAZN normally give us really, really good fights. But I thought that card was a little cheesy. But at the same time, I enjoyed the fight. You know, anything boxing related, bruh, I'm there. So now you got Earl Spence in the crowd. You got Terrence Crawford in the crowd. Terrence gets interviewed and says he's not worried about the Spence fight. He's basically moving on to bigger and better things. Well, bigger and better things like what, Mr. Crawford? Chasing a 40-something-year-old Pacquiao with no belt? The only thing you're going to get out of fighting Pacquiao is a big name on your resume. But come on. This ain't Pacquiao of 32. This is Pacquiao that's 40 something years old. That's on his verge of retirement, his damn self. So that's my whole ordeal with that. What are you moving on to? He's not going to walk into a fight against Sean Porter because I think that technically, if I had to guess, I'll say Terrence knows that that's not a good matchup for him. Opponent like Sean Porter, that rugged, come forward type style, that's a bad matchup for Crawford, man. I'm not saying that Crawford can't beat Porter. You know, anything can happen. This is boxing. hmm Anything can happen, y'all. This is boxing. So I'm not gonna never say nothing like that. But man, the likelihood of me seeing that happen is slim to none, man. But my whole thing, man, is you gotta fight somebody credible. We can talk about 135. We can talk about 140 and how he dominated those divisions. But when we talk about welterweight and we look at Jeff Horn and then we look at that really, really close victory over Josie Benavidez. You look at that close victory, and some people wonder, if JoJo wouldn't have been dealing with that leg injury, Was he really about to give Terrence Crawford hell in that fight? I remember that fight, man. And I was kind of worried because I was rooting for Crawford, but I seen how Benavidez was held back in that fight because of his leg injury. Good coffee, y'all. Yeah, he's held back in that fight because of that leg injury, yo. It's a lot of good fights on the PB side that Terrence Crawford can go after. Mikey Garcia. Hell, he can fight Jesse Vargas, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, Keith Thurman, I know my boy Sergi Lipinet's got a fight coming up against up and coming, rising to the scene star from Philadelphia, Jerron Boots Ennis. But that's a fight that could be made. It's so many different fights, so many cats at welterweight that Crawford can fight. You know, like I said, I wasn't impressed when I seen him against Kell Brook. I just wasn't. But he got the win, he got the stoppage. So my opinion on that don't even matter. I just want to see the fight get made. Let's do it just like we used to do in the old days, yo. When the fighters actually fought each other. You know what I'm saying? The fighters just don't fight each other no more. It's more about money and politics, than legacies nowadays. And really showing who's really the best. That's how I view it. Another fight I wanted to get into that's going down this weekend. Dylan White versus Alexander Povetkin, exclusively on the Zone, Part 2. The first fight happened, what was it, last summer? It was a good fight. I despise Dylan White with everything in me, but I seen him winning a lot of that first fight before Povetkin finally got him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Now, this fight was supposed to happen a while ago. The rematch was supposed to happen, I want to say in December or maybe November. I think they was had it set around the time Earl and Danny was supposed to fight, but Povetkin tested positive for COVID. So that's what brought us all the way to March. I want to see Alexander Povetkin go in there and dominate this dude and prove that he don't belong at all. And that's what I'm expecting him to do. I'm expecting him to be much more cleaner in this fight. Because, like I said, Dylan White, if you really go back and you watch the fight, I had Dylan White actually winning the fight before Povetkin knocked his ass up out of there. You know what I'm saying? It was a real good fight. It was some back and forth shit for the most part. But I'm taking Povetkin to win the rematch. But this could easily turn into one of those situations, man, where this could be, let's say White gets this fight, and we could be looking at a third fight showdown, man, to see which one of these cats has a chance to possibly challenge, the winner of AJ Fury, which is they still saying that fight is going to happen. Did Deontay take the $10 million step aside money as rumored? I would hope my boy didn't do that. I would hope my boy didn't do that, but I can't guarantee that he didn't. The question is when you talk about, you know, the big British showdown between Tyson Fury and AJ, then they want to do it over here in the States and all that. How much shit do they really think? How much money they think they gonna generate off of that when there's no American in the fight at all? Well, now if it would be Tyson Fury versus Wilder, you would be looking at a much better situation. But y'all trying to sell a British fight on American soil. That don't make no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Americans despise Tyson Fury right now. And a lot of Americans probably don't know who the casual boxing fans don't know who the fuck AJ is. I guarantee you that, yo. So how y'all gonna really make this pitch on this? And then Tyson Fury, he's not gonna fight Deontay Wilder again. Let's just be real. We ain't seen this man in action since. He's begging for a fight, but God don't like ugly, man. And when you do wrong, wrong get done right back to you. Tyson Fury ain't stepped in the ring in a year. And now you trying to go right into a match against AJ, who's coming off a win. You know what I'm saying? Last December. So he's fought recently. Come on, man. We got to use our heads on this one, bro. We got to. It won't be an easy task for Tyson Fury being out of the ring for a whole year and then stepping in the ring with AJ. Come on, man. AJ fought Pulev back in December. He got the victory. He got the stoppage. Tyson Fury has not fought since that second fight against Wilder. A 2-fight deal? Fuck out of here, man. And AJ, as we know, he's not going to fight Wilder. I just don't want to see my boy left out in the slumps, left out in the cold, and not get his fair opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to get his belt back and take back over the game. Get all the belts and take back over the game. Come on, man. Stylistically, it's a good matchup between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. If Tyson Fury can learn to do shit without cheating. It's a good matchup for for Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. But at the same time, we all know AJ's chin ain't his best friend. And I believe those are part of the reasons why AJ would probably rather pass on fighting Deontay Wilder. Because he knows it's a good chance he's going to get knocked the fuck out, yo. I'm telling you. So I just kind of wanted to mention that a little bit, man. Anyways, let's move on, man. Earl Spence Jr. There's been some disrespectful shit going on people's lives with cats that despise Earl Spence, referring to Earl Spence as a bitch and things of that nature. Let me explain something to you cats, man. I almost bet anything that I got in my checking and savings account that can't none of y'all whoop Earl Spence. None of y'all. So for y'all to say, "Oh, Earl Spence is a bitch this, a bitch that," okay, raise your hands and answer me. How many of you niggas out there can whoop Earl Spence? Probably not too many of y'all. I guarantee half y'all won't even fight him. Show the man some respect. Look at all he has done. You can't be mad at Earl Spence for all that he's done and all that he's accomplished. Come on, man. The fact that he wants these big fights, he's getting them. Look at what he just accomplished against Danny Garcia out of Philadelphia, man, who was one of the best welterweights in the game, and we're gonna get into him a little bit as well. But just look at Earl's resume. Look how he demolished Danny Garcia, and Earl hadn't fought in over a year. Coming back, first fight back after a car wreck, he goes after one of the top 3 or 4 welterweights in the game. Completely schools him. He made us think Danny Garcia was Mikey Garcia in that fight. That's how ineffective Danny Garcia was. Before that, he had Sean Porter. He fought Sean Porter's rugged style against him. That wasn't Earl's style of fighting. He fought Sean's fight and took him out the game. Dominated Mikey Garcia, Special K. Brook, the legend Lamont Peterson. He's going after the big fish in the game, man. Please do not play with me like that. And y'all been disrespecting this man. He's accomplishing more than your favorite welterweight fighter is. Guarantee you that. What has Crawford done at welterweight besides run, you know what I'm saying, and sign and try to stay on the side of the street where he's not going to get the exposure? His own fucking manager don't want to sell him. You know what I'm saying? Or saying Terrence ain't selling himself. He's not putting asses in the seats on these pay-per-views. Earl Spence is he's going on 4 pay-per-views in a row, man. Getting ready to fight August, another dangerous fighter that Crawford could fight. And I still think that could be a dangerous matchup for Crawford. Come on, like I said, he didn't look that good against Kell Brook. It was some back and forth shit. Kell was kind of getting him. Then Terrence caught him with that cool little shot. Mean Machine gave him hell, but he ended up getting him out of there. Amir Khan, come on, man. Let's not even get into that. Josie Benavidez, like I said, he was limited on one leg. Jeff Horn, come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on. Please. I'm not even about to entertain nothing about Jeff Horn. I'm just not. Then everything else on Crawford goes down from 140 to 135. Julius and Dongo? Are you fucking serious? The resumes don't add up. Terrence ain't generating the revenue that Earl is bringing in or any of that. So when Earl say, yeah, we can make the fight 60-40 split, why is it an issue? I know Terrence is considered pound for pound, and that's fine. Well deserved of that. But make the fight. Make the fight and define your legacy. Terrence getting up there, I believe he's going to be 35 this year. So he can't waste too much time. When you start getting up in your late 30s in the boxing game, it's probably time to get ready to get out the boxing game. Telling telling you, man. Earl Spence is the truth, dog. The truth. And I ain't gonna let nobody disrespect him. Period. And a lot of these niggas that's talking that bullshit on their platforms don't know what the fuck they talking about, and they not coming with no real logic about it. So stop playing with me, dog. Show that man some respect. What I seen him do to Danny Garcia in his first fight back since his accident showed me a true warrior, dog. Stop playing with me, man. Shit is crazy, man. Anyways, now Big Danny Garcia is saying he wants to move up to 154, believes he can be the face of the division, and believes he's going to take over the division. Woo! I find that hard to believe. Danny had trouble and lost some close fights at welterweight. Keith Thurman. That was a back and forth battle. Some people say Danny won. Some people say Keith won. Sean Porter. I thought Sean won that fight. Earl Spence washed him right out the fucking gate. So then when you move and you talk about 54, where there's where there's Charlo, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Are you serious? Tony Harrison? A dog? Jared Hurd? A dog? It's so many dogs on that side in that division. You know, and size is gonna play a huge factor. But I support Danny Swift Garcia, and I hope it works out for him. If he decides to completely go that route and move up to 54, I hope it works out for him. There's no doubt in my mind he'll get the big fights. He'll get the big opportunity because Danny Garcia is a household name. And Danny Garcia can probably put more asses in the seats than Terrence Crawford can. Terrence Crawford can barely sell out a motherfucking free picnic with free ribs being given away, much like his boy Sean Porter. Earl and Danny, they put asses in the seats. People come out to fuck with them. Trust and believe that, man. Trust and believe that, yo. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button for your boy, notification icon, all that. I'm gonna start dropping content a lot more, man. I run a business, man, so I've been really, 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 really busy. Really busy. And don't forget, next week on ESPN, we got Carl Frampton and Jamel Herring. So definitely getting good around this motherfucker, man. Definitely. But let's keep our eye out because as far as I know, they haven't even announced anything for AJ and Fury, a venue, or anything of that nature. So one's got to wonder, are they really even close to a deal, or anyway, or the two sides far apart? Those are the questions. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all tapping in with me. If you didn't get to tune in live, play it back for your boy. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back on. If not today, sometime, probably tomorrow. Much love, y'all. Be safe.